Welcome to the Carousel. I am John. With me I have Jake.
Coming at you live from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport.
And everyone else dead because we kicked them into plane engines, but I'm sure they'll be back next week.
Yeah, they got way Deadpooled. Deadpooled? No, Firefly. Both, maybe? Did Deadpool throw a guy in a jet engine? I feel like he did.
I don't know. Maybe. It's, I'm cool with whatever you want to go with that direction. It is Firefly, but it kind of doesn't matter because they would be a pool of dead since there's at least 2, possibly 3 of them now. So, we'll see.
Just an amalgamation.
Yeah. Like the Marvel DC, crossover event with Backclaw or whatever it was.
Backclaw, yeah. He was a bad guy.
Was
what?
He?
I think you made that up.
Oh, okay. They combined Wolverine and Batman. That's all I remember.
Oh, okay.
He's pretty goofy looking. So, if you've never listened to the Carousel before, we like to bullshit about games and movies and TV and all whatever kinds of stuff. So, let's start out with talking about the upcoming releases that we care about. There aren't a lot this time. For video games, we got No Man's Sky coming out on the 9th, which I don't think I'm picking it up.
It's, a lot of people are real excited about it. Well, they were prior to this week at least. They were real excited about it. As, it seemed like a really cool idea for me until I found out that it was a survival game, and then I pulled the nope ejector button, and out I went.
That's really all I needed to hear. It's a very pretty looking game. I'm still curious, but I'm not $60 curious.
Well, it's the same thing with We Happy Few. I was really excited for that, and then I saw what it was, and even Alpha Beta, that is not the game I want to play, and I feel like they kind of misrepresented it.
Yeah, they did. I thought that was going to be a cool, narrative-driven, crazy game, and it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I would have taken almost anything over a survival game. I would have taken a tactics game, something.
I feel like survival games are the new multiplayer games. A few years ago, companies were like, oh, everything's got to have multiplayer. Cliff Bleszinski was like, I don't see how you could release a game in this day and age without multiplayer. Because they just assume, oh, everyone wants to play that. And no, you,
Well, it went multiplayer, got tacked onto everything, and then it went to everyone's got to release a MOBA, and then it was regardless of any game that you're putting out, it's got to have some sort of roguelike elements, which are in was it We Happy Few? Is that what it was? I forgot the title already.
Yeah, what are you talking? We Happy Few? Or are you talking?
The roguelike characteristics are in that.
Oh, okay.
And then now it's everything either has to be a flat-out survival game or have a survival aspect to it. If Dishonored 2 comes out and you have a hunger meter, I'm going to be pissed.
Eating in games is not I've heard people like that Fallout mod where they eat. And, in Bethesda's defense, they typically, or those mods' defense, they usually make the eating just automatically. The character will just eat what's in your inventory, but...
Well, and you can opt in. That's not the base default mode of the game.
Yeah.
And wait, as far as not liking games with eating, didn't you just play an ass ton of Odin Sphere?
I beat Odin Sphere, actually, but, yeah, okay. I got a nitpick on the eating in my games. One, the eating in Odin Sphere is boring as shit, but it's a little entertaining to watch. But you don't have to eat to survive, you just get a bunch of experience and XP out of it, which, kind of prevents you from playing more of that game. And considering it took me 40 or 50 hours to get through that damn thing, I'll take it.
More like bloated Sphere, am I right?
Yeah. Anyway, so...
No Man's Sky's out. I don't care. Have fun with it if that's your thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure some people will be pleased, and some people won't, and it'll be like every game release with any type of hype nowadays.
Anything that takes Pokemon Go off the news sites is I'm happy with.
That'll never happen. That is, Pokemon Go is here to stay. I went to the Pokemon Go spot in our town, city of Tulsa, 1 million people, our town. But yeah, it's down the street. We went out to eat there, and I forgot what it was, and Like, literally just line of cars just circling the parking lot with just, like, dozens of people walking everywhere. Like, it was like trying to park in a fair or a parade or something.
It sounds like a cruise night. Like, and any other small town, well, not small town, any other town has, like, a classic car night, you know?
No, that is the best description of that as I've heard. Yes, it is exactly a cruise night. It was
yuck.
It was crazy. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I probably almost killed several people, but that's okay. They were looking at their phones. And then the 16th, a game called Bound comes out. Bound is actually, like, I keep a list for myself on Google Docs of games that are coming out that I'm interested in, and I don't remember when I added this in, so I don't actually remember what the gameplay is, but I looked up a trailer earlier today. It is a really pretty game. I'm guessing it's going to fall in this Abzu, like, journey, like, area of things.
That's with, like, rhythmic gymnastics or something.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. Maybe it'll be cool, maybe it won't. I'm pretty sure it's PS4 only. We'll find out. But anyway, and then movies. Obviously, the critically acclaimed Suicide Squad comes out tonight.
Oscars for days!
Yeah, the critics just love this one, don't they?
You know, from everything I'm reading, and, you know, this is first day, kind of the first wave of blog posts and stuff. It sounds like the reshoots really fucked this thing because they tried to cram together two different movies, is what it sounds like.
You know, if it's true that, like, and I suspected this since the moment I saw that fucking Queen trailer, if it's true that they literally released that Queen trailer and released it in such a way that it doesn't represent what the movie is, and then went back to the director and said, oh shit, we gotta recut this, and then hired the company that made that trailer. I assume it has to be the Queen trailer one, right? But
that's the one everyone got super excited about.
Yeah, and hired those people to make their own edit of the movie. Like, that sounds insane. But
it's so insane. Like, this is everybody. If I forget who the original director is. But if I'm the guy who made the actual original movie, everyone fucked me. And I am super pissed because I wanted to make, like, not necessarily dark and gritty, but like a not madcap, tongue-in-cheek Suicide Squad movie. And then they totally misrepresented what I made with the trailer, and everyone liked it, and that's fine. But, you know, if you want to make, I don't know, I feel like a reboot or something with that version and just leave this one alone. It's done. The guy's done with it.
I'm really curious as to see that version. Just like I'm curious on Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. Not that his version would save that movie from what I hear, but I don't know. I'm still very curious about Suicide Squad, so I'm gonna go see it tomorrow. But
so when that comes out on, well, it's going to get torrented all the shit way before then, but when this comes out on DVD, are we going to have on YouTube people trying to figure out, like, and make their own cuts of what they thought the original movie was and kind of split it into two movies or something, you think, maybe?
All the scenes aren't going to be in there.
Oh, God,
Jared
you're right.
Leto's already said that not all his Joker scenes are in it, that they cut most of his scenes out.
Wow, and he was, like... He was the one they were hyping, like, whether he was doing it for publicity or what, like, all the wacky shit that he was doing on set, like, he was the focal point. Like, Will Smith is, like, the fourth person anyone talks about when it comes to this movie. Will fucking Smith! Welcome to Earth! And then they just cut Jared Leto. Okay, alright, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and it's... I don't remember what I was watching online, but it showed... You know that originally in Comic-Con, that trailer that leaked, and then they released it, where it has Jared Leto approach, and he's talking about hurting her really, really bad. And I saw a trailer that had that same scene in it, and they added all this weird, like, natural-born killer psychedelic shit to it. That is... I don't know. I'm still deathly curious about this movie. Like, I have a hard time believing that it's not at least okay.
I mean, that's not really... And this, let me warn you guys, going to be a real Batman-heavy episode here. But that's not a take I've ever seen on Joker, necessarily, where it's just, just wacky shit, cutting inside his brain, and just that natural born killers sort of just wave of consciousness stuff, except none of it's connected. Like, have they ever? I mean, I'm sure they've done it in the comics. They've been doing this for 50-something years, 70 years. So I'm sure somebody's done it, but I've never seen it. So that might be cool.
I'm not a big follower of the comics, so I don't know. I've heard mixed reactions to his Joker. Like, I've heard the best. Like, it seems to be the consensus on the movie seems to be that Margot Robbie, Will Smith, and the guy who plays Diablo are the best parts of the movie. I've heard Captain Boomerang's kind of a caricature, which he's named Captain Boomerang. What were you expecting?
Yeah.
Like, even in the comics, he's kind of just a drunk joke, or at least the few comics I've read with him, which may have just been Identity Crisis and probably not really representative of the character, but whatever. I don't know. I'll see it tomorrow at a matinee, because I gotta take the dog in, so I took the day off, but... Anyway.
You're just gonna leave? You're gonna leave the dog at the vet and go see a movie?
No.
What kind of pet owner are you, man? You gotta be there. Your emotional support.
I'm gonna get the dog's staples taken out. I'm gonna drop it off the house and then leave it at the house while I go see the movie.
Okay, that's probably that's better.
Yeah. So Comic-Con happened last month. Just wanted to try and go over some of the news that I cared about from there, which seems to be about 90% trailers.
That's what Comic-Con basically is these days, right?
Well, and luckily most of the companies released the trailers to the public. Like, there were a few trailers that Marvel did not release, which I still think is bullshit, but Warner Brothers seems to have just said, fuck it, just release them online, who cares?
What did Marvel not release?
They didn't show us the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer. They didn't show us the... there's a Thor Ragnarok mockumentary. The guy who directs Thor Ragnarok is the same guy who directed What We Do in the Shadows. And he made a mockumentary about where Thor was during the events of Civil War. And evidently it features things like Thor putting Mjolnir in its own little bed. Like...
Tiny little pillow.
Exactly. It sounds great. Like, I don't even remember anything else, hardly.
Just gold embroidery around this tiny little blanket.
Like, evidently he has, like, a little chart wall about trying to figure out where the Infinity Stones are, but it's all just, like, cutesy little artwork or something like that, but...
That's fun.
Like, it sounds amazing. I really hope it's on the Blu-ray since they didn't release it. But... So, anyway, they did release all the Netflix stuff. So, starting with Luke Cage...
Yes.
What, is it buying you?
Yeah, I'm way in. And okay. It looks like the bad guy is the actor who played Remy in House of Cards.
Oh,
who I really like.
That guy's a great actor.
Yeah.
That didn't click with me. I didn't realize that. Man.
Well, it's that last scene at the end, and it's real dark, and you have to kind of watch it 2 or 3 times. But when he kind of smiles a little bit, and you go, oh, yep, that's him. Like that shit-eating grin that he's always... Not a shit-eating grin, but like a half smile, like, I'm gonna fuck you over kind of face he makes. Oh, he's so good.
Man, It looks good. It had a Wu-Tang, I think, song playing in the background.
It's a song I recognize, but I don't know anything about Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I've never been...
I know they ain't nothing to fuck with. That's all I know.
Yeah, and I think someone told me recently that like either Method Man or Redman wasn't actually in Wu-Tang, which changes my whole perspective on the world. But I don't know. It looks good. It's I'm still a little bit wary about it, but I'm excited Misty Knight's in it, even if she wasn't in the trailer. I just hope that she is the badass she is in the comics.
You've already gone over my head. I know everything that happened in Jessica Jones on Netflix, and nothing else about Luke Cage, except that he was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
In the comics, like, I don't think this will spoil anything. In the comics, Misty Knight is usually paired with a chick named Colleen Wing, and they are usually in charge of Heroes for Hire. Heroes for Hire is usually Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Black Widow, I forget who else, but it's basically the Defenders. So my secret hope is that the Defenders will be led by Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, because Colleen Wing, I think, is supposed to be an Iron Fist, but I could be wrong.
And I know nothing about Iron Fist.
I know the one series I read most of that was by I just forgot his name. He wrote the Hawkeye series for Marvel for a while that was really critically acclaimed. He's a really good writer. Whoever he is, he's a really good writer. The Hawkeye trailer, kind of, I don't know.
It keeps sounds like you're saying the Hot Guy trailer.
The Hot Guy, you know, he was so hot when he just kind of lazily hit the wall and it blew up.
So this Luke Cage trailer, are we still on that? Are we moving on, or?
I don't. What, did you have something to add? We can add if you want to, or move on.
I'm worried that what they showed was the best piece of the series. Like you know that section in like episode 3 or whatever, the first Daredevil season.
Oh yeah.
Where it's him saving the kid, and it's not one shot, but they cut it so it looks like it is. Like that is the best piece of that season. And I'm a little worried that this is that version. You know, this is Luke Cage's version of that. I'm hoping they didn't blow their entire load in the trailer.
Well, to clarify, like, are you saying that's the best piece of the Daredevil season period, or just the best action piece?
The best action piece.
Okay.
Like it's the piece that everyone came away going,
yeah,
that was a great fucking sequence.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
I'm scared. I'm a little scared, but you know what? I don't care if they build around that sequence for 8 hours. Like, I'm gonna watch it. It looks real good.
Gosh, the Comic-Con guy, the showrunner guy, had a great line where he said, "The world's ready for a bulletproof black man." I don't know. I'm in. We only got about a month? Not a month. We got 2 months to wait. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's move on to, like, well, we talked a little bit about Iron Fist already. I don't know.
That trailer kind of was nothing.
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't like the way it looked when he exploded the wall. I like the idea of him being like a hobo coming back to his fortune kind of thing, but it really didn't tell us anything or show us anything at all, really. And it's
I feel like I got more out of the Defenders trailer than I did Iron Fist.
I know. Like, the Defenders, you have Stick talking, right? Like, oh, you four think you could save this city?
Was?
Yeah, that
was Stick. Okay,
that was Scott Glenn. I think that's.
I finally finished the second season of Daredevil, so I'm all up on Stick now.
Gotcha. All up on that Stick. Yeah.
Oh, I am rocking the Stick.
Yeah, rocking it.
He'll never see me coming.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Stick talking, which makes me, I don't know, I'm sticking with the theory that they're going to fight all their villains at once. It's going to be the Hand, and Kingpin, and Elektra is going to be resurrected by the Hand, and then they're going to resurrect Purple Man for a fight, and, you know, if Luke Cage kills his bad guy, then the Hand will resurrect him too. I mean, once you bring in resurrection, I mean, why not just do it for everyone? But
I kind of hope they don't, because then it just becomes the David Tennant and Friends show again. Like, and I loved that, but like, if you got all these people, like, you can't have all these characters and then throw him in there, and it's like, well, he's the only one I care about now. Thanks, guys.
Truthfully, I don't think they'll do that. If they did, I'm willing to bet it would only be for like 1 or 2 episodes. It would be one of those, oh, we brought him back. Jessica's, well, spoiler. The same solution from the Jessica Jones Netflix still applies, so that's that.
Yeah, I guess.
But, anywho, all the Marvel Netflix stuff still looks great. I think Iron Fist is due out next February or March or something, and I think Defenders is after that, so it'll be a bit.
Prepare to be fisted this February.
It's supposed to be like a martial arts action show, so I don't know what to expect from the Game of Thrones actors playing him and doing that, but we'll see. American Gods had a teaser trailer. Are you familiar with American Gods?
I was a little bit. I've never actually like read any of that stuff, but just sort of talking to you, I kind of know the deal. Was Mr. Wednesday? Was that the same guy who played the guitar case assassin in Punisher? In the Tom Jane Punisher movie?
Oh shit! Yeah, it might have been.
Like it kind of looks like him, but like he put on a bunch of weight and got way older. But like that movie was what 2004, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's some actor's name, and he looks ish kind of like how I pictured Wednesday looking from reading the book. For the audience, if you aren't familiar with American Gods, it's a Neil Gaiman story. Neil Gaiman wrote Sandman, and is generally just kind of a kind of counterculture, pop culture icon. Generally, his books involve characters who are too mature to fight at the end, which is cool and disappointing all at the same time. So, maybe curb your...
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write books with nothing but no climaxes. That's what I'm going to do.
So that's his... Oh, God. Like, if you ever read his, like, that's all of his climaxes. Like, the hero gets to the end, he's like, no, we're not going to fight.
Fuck this. Turn the page, the end.
It's really funny. Like, yeah. You got me looking up, like, Wednesday. Ian McShane. And, let's see. I'm just making work for myself here. While I try and edit out the audio version of me fucking trying to find out.
You gotta do me too, because now you got me looked. Okay, I sincerely doubt it's the same guy.
Yeah, I was trying to just search in,
It is not.
Okay. Good to know. Either way. He's a guy with a familiar face that,
But he was in Game of Thrones, and he is apparently in John Wick Chapter 2.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he was in the first John Wick. There you go. Okay.
Was he? Oh, he was the inn shopkeeper guy, wasn't he? The guy who ran the hotel.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
It's totally him. So he's very short. Which is kind of weird. I didn't really picture Wednesday all that short, but... truth be told, I always kind of pictured Wednesday as kind of the Grey Hulk and as a bodyguard in Vegas. But anyway, American Gods is the book's premise is that all the mythological gods do exist and have made homes for themselves in the modern world. But he uses mostly, except for a few of the main characters, he uses very obscure mythologies, which is cool and frustrating all at the same time, because you never have a fucking clue who a character is. You're like, I know you're spelling it out for me here, but it doesn't help. So the guy's going into war and has a boner. That doesn't mean anything to me. But anyway.
I mean, that sounds significant.
It does. It does. Anywho.
His name is Warboner.
I'm curious about it. I think it comes out on like Showtime or AMC or something. I'm actually debating on getting the Amazon whatever add-on for that channel just to watch it. We'll see when the time comes if I do.
Stars, I think.
Is it Stars?
I believe it is.
Okay. I'll believe you. So, and then we got the Wonder Woman trailer.
Yes. Yep.
Looks fucking... I did not expect this movie to look as fucking awesome as it does.
It looks real good, and I'm kind of glad that World War I stuff has sort of become a thing that people are interested in making, doing like actual stuff around and working it into like movies and popular culture and stuff. But then also people seem to be actually interested in World War I more now than they used to be. It looks like they got a. It looks like they. I think Wonder Woman will probably be more factually accurate than Battlefield 1, which I guess is good for Wonder Woman.
I could see that. I could see that.
People are worried that was it Chris Pines, the Star Trek dude. Is that him?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the right guy. That he's going to be too much of a like plot mover MacGuffin type thing. But it seems like they're not. They had that not throwaway line in the trailer but where he was like, they were dancing or something, and he's like, I can't let you do this, and she's like, fuck you, son, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
So
that's what a lot of their relationship... Well, okay. The very few Wonder Woman stories I've seen and read, like, that is always his role, is always... She's the outsider to the world. She comes from a place of feminine power and is entering a place where, females are discriminated against and, considered lesser. So it's a good kind of walk around showing piece. Like, he never saves her. Like, if you haven't seen the Wonder Woman cartoon that they released, the movie, like, that is really one of the best DC animations, in my opinion.
From this movie trailer, Themyscira looked awesome, and it looks like they got the golden lasso right.
Yeah,
it's a glowy, but not stupid glowy, but not like, hey, we found some gold lame and wrapped it around a whip. Like, it looks like they got it right.
The other thing I like about the tone in this is I've always, like, it made me realize the thought that what I want DC movies to be is like a comic series called Astro City. Astro City is a very dramatic, emotional, like very character-driven set of stories. It's always different characters, and all the superheroes look fucking ridiculous and fucking stupid. Like, but it's not a comedy. It's, you take it completely seriously, and I feel like the DC movies need to operate that way. They need to own their shit and just throw them in there and let them be them and let the world accept them as them instead of trying to bow down to the world with this whole, oh, we're dark. Oh, what would the military do if they saw Superman? Like, bullshit,
I guess. I don't know. Boy, they're really... I'm scared. We're talking about how awesome Wonder Woman looks. We sort of had this same discussion before Batman vs. Superman, and we kind of had this same discussion prior to Suicide Squad. Like, I'm not getting as excited as I am, I'm literally right now going to talk myself down from that, because I should fucking know better by now.
Well, as much as Warner Brothers loves to dip their... Wait, that's a bad phrase to go in. Bad phrase, bad choice of words. About to say dip the fingers in the pie. Don't want to do that.
Ooh, no.
Nope. But as much as they like to stir up the pot, no, that's not even that's at least that phrase isn't offensive. I don't know. They always like to fuck with their directors and recut shit and say, no, this isn't, like. And I think Patty Jenkins is a very unique director who's made a bunch of movies that I don't necessarily care about, but are critically acclaimed in a fashion that I think matters. And so on that end, I have some faith in her that I may not necessarily have in the other directors that have done DC movies so far.
Well, now that you say that, that reminds me that I think she was on Fresh Air a couple of months ago. And yeah, she does really seem to love the character and have been around the character for a long time. She's not just like, she got tapped to direct this, and so I'm going to go do my research. Like, she genuinely seemed to love the whole IP, so... Yeah, I'm optimistic, but I'm not getting... Well, if I say I'm optimistic but not getting my hopes up, that's sort of contradictory. But I'm not gonna let my hype level get too high here, because we've been fucked too many times these last couple of years.
That's true. I don't know. I just want DC or Warner Brothers in particular to learn to start leaving their hands off it a bit, and just let their directors do what they do well. But I don't know. I think Wonder Woman looks great. I'm still not sold on Gal Gadot's acting chops, but goddamn, those action sequences look great, and those boots were fucking awesome looking. But I don't know. We'll find out. So they also showed us a Justice League clip, which I kind of have the opposite feelings as the rest of the world on.
It's got some stuff. I watched, as a reminder to myself, I watched all these trailers back to back today. So didn't I see Peter Stormare in one of these?
I don't remember.
It might have been Justice League or it wasn't Doctor Strange. I think it was Justice League that I saw him in.
You sure he was in that trailer? Because he was in one episode of Flash Season 2, so... Like,
oh, you know what? Okay.
I feel like he could have been in the Flash trailer we're going to talk about in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like. Okay, here's the thing. Like, the Justice League trailer was fun. It had lots of jokes. Flash seemed kind of charming, but to me, it seemed reactionary to the point where I do not believe they can make a movie because it seems so reactionary to the criticism they've received.
What, that it was like the stuff with Flash, which was basically Civil War Spider-Man stuff meets Quicksilver stuff, like...
Yeah, it was all...
that.
Like, everyone's always saying, oh, DC movie, like it's the general criticisms are always against a bad superhero movie are always, oh, superhero movies shouldn't be dark, or, oh, they should be wearing brightly colored things, and they should tell jokes, they should tell lots of jokes. That's why the Marvel movies are popular, jokes, which is, all that's bullshit. Let's be honest, like, you know, dramas are good movies too, but, like, to me, that trailer represented all them looking at that criticism and going, guys, we're panicking, we have to figure this shit out and make it fucking funny. Here, like, no one likes Aquaman. How do we make Aquaman popular? Let's have him chug a thing of fucking alcohol and then have a giant wave hit him.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that. I mean, I got what it was. I didn't understand why he would be doing. Is he just going to be the drunk guy? Is that we're going to play him as a dumb drunk guy for laughs? I
don't know. Batman seemed to be the one telling all the jokes, which was equally weird to me.
Yeah, and it's like, I get that it was weird that he was going to all these people as Bruce Wayne. Like, you know, of course, Bruce Wayne would probably do his research before he went to these people. But like showing up as a dude, and then the thing with the Flash, like the way he showed the Flash who he was by flinging a batarang at him.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool, but like the jokey stuff didn't work.
It's a cool scene, but it didn't really strike me as Batman. And I just, you know, and maybe it'll still be a good movie, but I don't think you can make a good piece of media by solely reacting to critics. So we'll see if you know, Flash and Drunk Man and Batman and all them can work it out or not.
Oh, I got it. Vodka Man.
Was it vodka? I was trying to remember what was on the label, and I didn't.
It's Eastern Europe. It's clear. It's almost assuredly vodka.
I saw someone posted a funny series of pictures where it's like, because Jason Momoa used to be on Baywatch. It's like, first he was a lifeguard, then he was a pirate or something like that, or I don't remember, something else. It showed him like with like kind of a beard and long hair, and just like, then he became king of the sea, and it showed him as Aquaman, and it was like a you can move up in the world joke.
I like the stuff they did with his eyes. I thought that was cool.
I guess I don't remember. I guess I didn't notice that.
Well, they looked like he could fade them completely white if he wanted to, but maybe it was just they always had like real pale contacts in or something. I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. It looked cool.
Okay. Let's keep moving. So Flash Season 3 trailer hit.
1 second. Peter Stormare, he's in American Gods. That's what I was thinking.
That makes sense.
He's in like half of that.
That makes sense.
Sorry. Go ahead, Flash Season 3.
I like that guy. I hope he plays one of the Russian gods. Anyway, so I was kind of done with Flash until I saw the Season 3 trailer, and I kind of want to be back in now, but those characters are so dumb. Like, it's hard for me to want to jump back in. Like,
yeah, I feel like I really should have watched the CW trailers first. Because they're doing Operation, or is it Operation Flashpoint? Is that what they called it? It's Flashpoint.
It's just Flashpoint, yeah. First episode is titled Flashpoint.
It's, having just watched that animated version of it, and now seeing this, like, it seems real hammy and jokey, but I think that series kind of already is that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty hammy and jokey, but like all the characters are real dumb. Like, they're super dumb. Like, I'm pretty sure we could lock the Flash in the room and he would die. Like, that's how I feel about the TV Barry Allen. Like, he is so... Like, I know the TV basis is that he has to have the other non-powered characters to back him up and help him figure out how to fight bad guys. But I think his first instinct should be is stop moving. Like every new villain he encounters, he stops and stares at them and lets them hit him. Like he just needs to dodge. Like the writers need to think like maybe a little bit bigger and like maybe read up on like physics. I don't. It's. I don't know. But
well, the comics have done so much goofy shit with, and Speed Force means he can do anything ever. Like they just totally Superman him with that. And you know what? When I first heard that, when I first started, looking into Flash and like, well, he runs fast. I don't get it. And then I saw all this stuff that they allowed him to do. I was like, fuck that. That's dumb. But it kind of becomes endearing, and like maybe tap into some of that stuff.
Tap that shit. Tap that shit fast.
Tap that Flash.
Yeah, I don't know. I may check it out. Like, my secret hope for the Flashpoint thing was that, like, the first episode of all the CW shows would be, like, some weird alternate Earth where, like, I guess you got mad at me for doing that last Oliver Queen thing, like I suggested, but I would want them to do that. And, but, I don't know. You still there?
Yeah, I'm getting some weird latency issues, but I'm still able to make you out a little bit. I killed Twitch, so hopefully that'll help.
Oh, okay. Continuing on, one that I think we're going to disagree with, judging by our Twitter conversation, is Doctor Strange. I thought the trailer was fucking awesome. Yeah, that's...
He looks cool. He looks real cool.
He has a cape.
And his American accent kind of sounds like Kiefer Sutherland a little, so that's neat.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Like, the first time I heard his American accent, I was like, ooh, I don't think I can deal with an American Benedict Cumberbatch. And now that I've heard it twice in this trailer, I'm alright with it. But, I don't know, I thought the action looked really fucking cool. I like the idea that Baron Mordo is going to be his buddy through the whole movie, so that if they do a sequel or something, at some point Baron Mordo is going to go evil.
Is that the black dude?
Yeah, the assassin from Firefly.
That's what I was going to say. Yep, he's awesome as well. But apparently he can't be in anything if he doesn't have a sword on his back.
It seems to be the thing, yeah.
Well, he just shows up to the auditions with the sword. He's like, I know. We'll just get it out there.
Just starts giving that speech from the beginning of Firefly.
I've already got the sword. It's fucking fine.
About dying with honor, like, to everyone. They're like, oh no, like, Whedon didn't write that shit. He just showed up to the set and started talking about it. It's fucking
he says that at fucking Starbucks. He's like, and what's your name? And he just does the whole speech. Like, I can't fit that on the cup.
Yeah.
You're Sorty. Here you go. Cappuccino for Sorty.
Sorty wants to have a sortie.
A sortie.
Yeah. Anyway. Guardians of the Galaxy, the more I think about the news they announced, the more I'm thinking maybe I better not talk about any of it. Because they announced a lot of shit. It is official that Kurt Russell's going to be in the movie. It is official that evidently Sylvester Stallone has a role of some sort, which is nuts to me. But in terms of who they are playing, I don't know. Has that hit the internet enough that it's been spoiled for you yet?
I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was fine. It was good. I liked the Nova Corps stuff, although I wish it wouldn't have made them look like mall cops.
Well, they took away all their powers. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I wasn't, jizzing all over the seat back in front of me like everyone else in the world seemed to. So I don't really look for Guardians of the Galaxy news, and I haven't heard anything about it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't mention who at least Kurt Russell is probably obviously playing, since I'm being dodgy about it. But he has a specific character in the Marvel Universe which is not obvious by any means. And I actually would think it was a prank if James Gunn has made it, like, he's made it a point never to lie about his movies, kind of thing, in building any hype or anything like that. So on that end, I entirely believe what he's saying about it. But I don't know. Sounds great. Looks great. They also announced Brie Larson is going to be Captain Marvel. You may know her as Envy Adams from the Scott Pilgrim movie.
You may.
Have you not seen Scott Pilgrim?
Nope. Oh, wait. Did I? I think I did. I played the game. I played the game.
You need to correct that. You need to go see fucking Scott Pilgrim. It's directed by Edgar Wright. It is one of the best movies ever made.
Oh, wait. No, I did see it. I just saw it way after the fact. It was cool. That's fine.
Okay.
Look, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. It was okay. I didn't dislike it, but...
Don't blow smoke up my ass. I mean, fill out the affirmative action portion of this show with your dissenting moderate opinion.
Wait, affirmative action?
I know it's not affirmative
I'm fucking
at all.
Irish, dude.
Yeah. I was reaching for some sort of insult or joke.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post.
They don't always work out. They don't always work out. So, but it's, can't always make good jokes. Can't always kill them.
I saw Killing Joke in the theater. It was available for kind of one night only, but sort of like 2 nights only. And it is the only thing I've seen lately because I had to move. So I set aside a night to go see that. And it was good. It's not my favorite Batman animated movie. It's probably maybe 3rd or 4th.
What is your favorite Batman animated movie?
I think it's Under the Red Hood.
That's a pretty good one.
I think it's that one. Followed by probably Dark Knight Returns, and then Year One, because Bryan Cranston. Oh, he's fucking awesome in that.
Who's Bryan Cranston playing it?
In Year One?
Yeah.
He's Jim Gordon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be good at that role.
Yeah. So, Killing Joke, now mind you, before we get a bunch of suggestions for Jake is Full of Shit, keep in mind, I have not read the graphic novel for probably 6 years. I read it once, I liked it, but I set it down and didn't feel like I ever needed to come back to it. I like the movies a lot better than I like comics, as evidenced by every single podcast we've ever done. So with that in mind, I'm going to do a minor spoiler for the prologue, which is, it's not a prologue, they don't treat it as such, but it's totally a prologue. Basically, they had to come up with kind of an extra half hour of content to pad this thing out to actually feel like a feature-length movie. And it involves Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. And people have been really upset about this. They think it minimizes Barbara and demeans her as a woman, and they're getting really aggro about it. And I think the criticisms are mostly overblown for a couple of reasons. First things first, and this is embarrassing, but I never picked up on this. The implication that Joker raped her.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because the panels, I don't know, I never think of the Joker as wanting to, I don't think him and Harley have ever had sex. He just doesn't seem like, he's got other shit to worry about, man. So I never think of him that way. But seeing it animated, it's like, oh, I finally get what they were trying to get across here. Which makes it even cooler when, the stuff with Gordon at the end, what Joker's trying to do to him, that makes that even better. But with that in mind, people are pissed because Batman and Batgirl fuck on a rooftop. That's what they're pissed about, and then Batman doesn't want to talk to her anymore. Well, here's the thing. If you want... there's criticism, people are getting pissed because, it just makes Barbara look like some just, do-eyed, dizzy dame who's, just wanting to sleep with everybody. No, you got to think about it from the character's perspective. Barbara's what, 19, 20? She's in college, and she's been working with this guy for 3 years, and he's, the smartest, most talented man probably on the planet, and He's an older dude. He's super good looking. He's her mentor. He's mega rich, which probably doesn't factor in. But, like, of course she's going to have a thing for him. If I worked for Batman for 3 years, I'd want to fuck him too. So I don't get why people are making such a big deal out of that.
I think the issue is it's creepy because he's kind of a extra dad figure in her life, and he's kind of best friends with her dad. Well, maybe not best friends, but pretty good friends with Jim Gordon. So it's kind of creepy on that scale.
It is, and they address that. Like, people don't seem to be paying attention to how they address it, which I'm sort of kind of gonna edge my way around. But like, they both, Barbara and Bruce, it was a heat of the moment thing, and they both kind of went, "Oh, we done fucked up," and that's what sort of turned the whole like going their separate ways thing. Like, Bruce didn't handle it well in the movie, but the thing is, Barbara recognizes what she did because she sort of initiates it. She recognized that was a bad idea too, and they both know that now we can't work together. It's just they don't spell it out, and it's not like she's just garbage that he throws away because, she comes back in and she is still a hero throughout this movie, and she's a badass. Like, she totally almost killed this one dude and stopped herself. Like, she tapped into that rage, and she was walking down the street and there was some guy being a douchebag to his girlfriend or whatever, and like, I don't know, she jacked him in the head or threw him into a bush or something like that. And it seemed, in any other IP, it would seem hacky, but it works here because you could totally picture her character from the animated series doing that to a guy, whether she had just got quote unquote dumped or not. Like, I think the criticisms are people. I'm not going to deny that people have genuine opinions about it, and I'm not saying that they are inflating them to get attention or anything like that. But I feel like in this age, people want to be on the right side of whatever issue of the day there is, and sometimes they go a little far. Like, I get where people are coming from, but I disagree. So.
Well, and honestly, a lot of the people, like, to be clear, I really dislike the idea of Barbara and Batman hooking up. I dislike that as much as seeing Batman and Black Canary hook up. That was fucking weird too, but that was Frank Miller, and he's fucking crazy. But like, a lot of the people who had issues with the Barbara storyline already had issues because they felt like it was a woman in the refrigerator style storyline to an extent.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were a big fan of the original and then this one went too far, like, the Joker raped her and then paralyzed her, or probably no, it was the other order. So like, you were cool with that, but this is gross and creepy. Like, well, that's a real weird fucking line, man.
Well, no, I'm saying they weren't cool with it. Like, they didn't like the original, and now they don't like this version either.
Like, hey, fine, it's not for everyone.
It's it's still one of those famous comics, and I think it's part of the reason it's going to have issues is because there are a lot of conflicted feelings where Batgirl is concerned. Like, for me, I mainly know Batgirl as Oracle from the Gail Simone Birds of Prey series, which I think is fucking awesome. I love her, like her as a person, and like, usually when people are talking about Oracle, there's like, oh, she's so smart and she's in the wheelchair looking things up. And yeah, okay, cool. She does that too. She kicks the shit out of people while in that wheelchair in the Gail Simone run. Like, she is not incapable by any fucking means. Like,
when that's the thing in this prologue, like, she beats some ass. And yes, she's a little overeager at points, but they've done that sort of. Like, all Batman's proteges are like that to some extent. Son of Batman, Damian wants to go around killing everybody, and Batman has to put a leash on him. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, same thing. Like, that's kind of what the sidekick does, because they need to, they're trying to assert themselves and aspire to be this super badass, and he's just, like, that's the interaction between those two archetypes in that world. So I don't know. I think it was all It was all well written within the context of those characters in the existing world.
So, how was... let's get to the part that I may care about slightly more than whatever intro they came up with. How was Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill, that might be the best I've ever heard him. It suffers a little bit because of the animation. The animation really only shines in a couple places. There's some stuff in the carnival section that's pretty good, but aside from that, the animation feels a little choppy. But because Hamill's so good, you can your brain fills in the face he's making and superimposes it on Joker. It's like your brain sort of fills in those missing frames of animation. I feel bad saying this because I love the man, but it's not Kevin Conroy's best work. He's a bad Kevin Conroy. Well, it's not a bad Kevin Conroy. An average Kevin Conroy is still the best Batman, but he's been better in other stuff.
Gotcha.
I will say they totally earn the R rating because this is R rated. They're dudes getting fucking hit and crushed by cars. There's like 7 headshots that are like shown in frame. It's not like, shadow on the wall, guy leaning back stuff. Like they straight up fucking show headshots. Like it's cool. It's cool. It's out on DVD now, so pick it up if you don't already hate it. That's my answer.
Yeah, I'm still gonna rent it at some point. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Batman fan either, but I don't know. You got another tale to tell about him?
Boy, I'm really going on a tangent here for an hour on Batman, so I apologize for that. I forgot that this was out at all because we didn't bring it up in our last show, I don't believe. The Telltale Batman series came out Tuesday. So as soon as I saw that, I downloaded it and played it to completion that evening. It's good. I don't have, I wouldn't call it a 10. I don't have glowing things to say about it across the board. But I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it. The writing is a bit iffy at times. Like maybe it feels weird. It seems like in some cases they expect you to make a different choice than you did. Like, it's not quite like, you punched the reporter and then, Mass Effect, and then the reporter showed up later and was super happy to see you. Like, it wasn't that opposite, but it was like 70%, it was 30% off. Like, they wrote something that kind of went with what you did, but really pushed you into assuming that the other decision was the right one to make. I can't say why because spoilers, but you'll know it when you see it. It's not pervasive. It's just a couple times and it's weird. But go ahead.
I was about to say, it's always hard to tell on these episodic games like this. You always got to get 2 or 3 in before you can really tell if the series is going to be good or not.
Yeah, and the Batman model's pretty good. The Telltale style is starting to wear a bit thin on me after 4.5 years. And to your point, like, I've picked up probably 5 or 6 of these series, and I've only finished the Walking Dead ones, I think.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I only got, like, maybe 1 Telltale game in me, like, a year. Like, I haven't even played the Walking Dead sequel stuff. Like, the first series I thought was amazing. And I don't see how they could top it, and I am not a huge fan of their non-storytelling parts of those games, so I just kind of avoid them to an extent.
Well, that's actually quick side note before I get back to Batman. Season 2 of Walking Dead, they're starting to get away from the bad non-story pieces of that game, but they don't quite do it in 2. But it's worth playing just because there's some really cool Michael Madsen stuff. And I want to say episodes 3 and 4, maybe? Maybe it's 2 through 4 or something, but
I'm sure I will attempt to someday. It's going to kind of suck, though, because I think my save data for the first Walking Dead is on my PS3, which who the fuck knows if that thing even still works. Jeez.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily... I mean, if you own it already, play it. If you get it for, PS Plus or whatever, play it. I would say that you wouldn't be too hurt by watching a playthrough of it on YouTube or something. But anyway, they've gotten better and better at that stuff. Like, they sort of are starting to realize that their strength is not in walking around a room and picking shit up and then combining shit and doing all that old school adventure game stuff. Because most of that's kind of gone here.
That's good. Well, the parts I remember hating the most were when they wanted me to shoot something.
There's a little bit of that.
Like,
I'll get to that in a bit. So there. Well, kind of the problem with what you're saying was the QTE sections. You have to throw batarangs and shoot your grapple a little bit. And there's like 3 or 4 sections where you have to do it. But in general, the QTE pieces, they don't give you a real big window to hit the buttons. Like, and it's weird because all the arrows are curved. So like, even if you're just supposed to click up on the left stick, it's like it does sort of a curve to the left and then meets back up. So it looks like you're supposed to roll, but you're not. You just push up. And they give you, a quarter second to do all these, which makes sense. It's Batman. He's not going to stand there waiting to throw a punch. But yeah, you got to be on your toes. But the cool thing about the combat is that there's this segment where you can kind of... You remember in Arkham Asylum where you'd go into a room and it was one of the stealth rooms and you'd kind of hang up on a gargoyle and kind of peep everybody out before you went to action, sort of made your plan of attack?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't built into the game, but like everyone does that. You're Batman. You go up, you see where everyone's walking, you do all your shit.
Absolutely.
They have a kind of section like that here. Like you can plan out how Batman assaults this one place. I took a pretty vanilla approach. Like thug here, pillar here, tie thug to pillar, and in the UI, you tie them together, and then he will bash this dude's head into the pillar. The same way that there's, like, the detective aspects. So, like, you go to a crime scene, I think there's a couple of them, and you find evidence, and this is what makes the boring adventure shit kind of work. Because there'll be, like, 8 or 9 or 10 nodes in a room. And once you sort of identify all of them, you can tie them together to see what the whole story was. So, like, you'll find, I don't know, a shell casing, and you also find a guy with a big old hole in his head. And you tie those two things together, and maybe those, Batman will, he'll tell you if you're right or wrong, but, maybe this dude got shot in the head with this bullet, and once you tie all 5 things together, or all 10 things together as 5 pairs, you see the whole story kind of play out at once. It's hard to describe, but it works very cool. And you use the same interface for this, planning out how you're going to beat the shit out of all these dudes.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That actually reminds me a little bit of... oh, crap, what's this game called? There's a game for... that came out like in the last... Soul Suspect, that's it. Soul Suspect,
okay.
You play a dead guy who is going around, and generally you go to a murder scene and you collect clues, and once you get all the clues, then it kind of shows you what happened.
Right, and in this you have a little bit more agency in that, it's a little obvious what ties to what, but in all of them they throw you a couple red herrings. It's just cool that you're the one who has to tie stuff together and go, well, this seems to come from here. It's cool. If I get too much into it, it'll be spoilery.
I liked Soul Suspect. I like the idea that a similar mechanic kind of style would be in this, so...
There's a pretty good twist towards the end of the chapter, and this is another one that they may have done in the comics, but it was new to me, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I'm sure they will find a way to retcon it out, but I'm curious to see how they write themselves out of it. I'm not going to say anything else about it, because I don't want to spoil the enjoyment of figuring out where they went with that.
Okay.
Couple last things. The voice actor isn't Kevin Conroy. He does okay. They've finally done the thing where I think they did this in Batman vs. Superman, where his suit modulates his voice, so it's not like him pretending to sound like his dad on the phone.
Gotcha.
You swear to me. It's not that. It's just a thing on his neck that he pushes. And lastly, they play the someone knows who Batman really is card real early. I probably would have held off on that, but they're doing a way different thing with Batman than I'm used to seeing. So, if they're going to burn that card this early, I'm really interested to see how they escalate it. Because they did it in Arkham City, and then they killed that person like 45 minutes of gameplay later. And you can't do that here, for reasons you will understand if you play it. So it's cool. I like it. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I wouldn't necessarily tell everyone to run out and spend $25 on it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Telltale game. I mean, I always like playing them all right in a row anyway, so I'll definitely be waiting on it. But, it's... okay, I don't have a pun. So I watched the Batman vs. Superman director's cut.
And?
It actually is a better movie that way. Basically, most of, like, all the extra stuff is before the Doomsday fight. I don't think it's a spoiler saying the Doomsday fight is like a third of the movie.
Oh, jeez. So in this cut, it's like an hour and 15 minutes then?
This is a 3-hour cut. Yeah, well, okay, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's about 40 minutes, like the Doomsday fight. So, like, if you can imagine, the rest of the movie has like a half hour added on to it. And it's all stuff that Superman and Clark is doing at the beginning of the movie, which really makes the story flow a lot better. Now, granted, part of that might also be that I understand what the fuck the scenes they're showing me are building to. Because the first time I saw that movie, there were scenes where I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Hey, where was... Not to interrupt you, but where was Superman in the Justice League trailer? Is he not going to be in that? He's got to be in that, right?
Are you joking? Are you joking? You're joking.
No, I'm not. I haven't seen Batman vs. Superman. Is there a reason why he would not be in it that I would know if I had seen this?
Yes.
Okay.
That you probably just told... Honestly, I don't know how you didn't figure it out before now anyway. Like, all the pieces are in there, but...
Well, because I know how The Dark Knight Returns ended, and Superman ain't dead, so...
Oh man.
Well, okay. I'm gonna see it this weekend.
Yeah, I don't... Well, and I'm... we briefly spoke before the cast started on it, and... Yeah. We briefly spoke before the cast started, and you were talking about not wanting to hear too much, so I'm not going to really expand too much on it anyway, so we may as well just...
I was calling you a dick because of what you just put in Slack.
Yeah. We'll see if I win that argument here in a minute. That is, oh, man, that's really funny.
Like, how big a level of dumb was that question? Is that like my mom asking, if I like the Batmans or something? What?
Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, I don't even know what to compare it to. Like, I feel like they have comedies where, like, this same situation happens and the whole room is just awkward because no one will tell them or something,
But, like, I don't know what happens to Old Yeller or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so where's Old Yeller? I miss seeing him.
Yeah, did they ever do a book about Old Yeller being on the farm?
Oh, man.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So I'm sorry, was there some other stuff you wanted to talk about with that?
No, I pretty much just wanted to just mention that the, like, when you see the theatrical version, they cut a huge amount of the Clark Kent going around doing his journalist job and researching Batman and kind of, like, saving people once in a while. Well, maybe not so much that. But, like, they cut out that.
He's dropping buildings on not people now.
Point being is, like, them adding this half hour in makes him a more relatable and likable character, whereas in the movie, like in the theatrical version, he just won't fucking talk to anyone and won't have anything to do with anyone, so it's like, you just think he's being a dick. And then you see, like, the Batman versus Superman one, you're like, oh, Batman's kind of a dick. But, anyway. I don't know, if you're gonna see a version, see that version. I don't think there's any saving that Doomsday fight. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of it, personally. But I still think the movie's okay. I don't think it is worth all the backlash, but at the same time, it's definitely not worth any like giant praise or anything, But
well, if they turned it into not horrible, that's all I can ask.
Yeah, well, and you may still disagree. I have no idea. You're out of left field every time for me, Jake. But anyway, I think that's all we got, man. So let's wrap this shit up. You can visit the Carousel at thecarouselpodcast.com. Rate and review us on iTunes. Go follow our Twitter. We occasionally tweet stuff when we remember we have a Twitter that we like. Our Twitter is...
I never want to waste it on the Twitter. Like, I'm not giving credit to the fucking podcast for this funny joke I thought of.
No, man. Yeah, just post a piece of news on it. That's all you gotta do. Just be like, oh, I'm excited about this news.
I'll make a funny joke on Twitter and then go to Carousel and post a link to that and call that. Like Jake said something funny. Go check him out.
You could just be your own wingman with the Twitter too. Just like
that's what I'm saying. I should.
Oh, jeez.
The Carousel retweeted you. It's just on my iPad. Just pages and pages. A tweet you like got favorited by Carousel.
What door have I opened? What boom tomb have I summoned? So what was I talking about? What did we say? We said, oh yeah, Facebook. Visit our Facebook. People are always posting news in there. Like the news I get from websites, like half the time I get them just from freaking person's name who I just completely forgot.
Well, it's nice. It's nice that at least you're grateful.
Yeah. No, it's a fun community to be in if you're going to be on Facebook. So, Jake, where can we find you?
I am TheOtherJZee on Twitter. That's JZEE. And that's kind of everything right now. If there's other stuff I'm doing that you would be interested in, I will probably post about it there.
Okay. Oh, and also buy my music at MusiM, MusiM.bandcamp.com. It's also on iTunes and Amazon and Spotify and all that. And my wife, Susie's, started a Twitch channel that she intends to start streaming, I guess, next weekend. I think a week from tomorrow or something like that. And it's Susie Spectre. So definitely go check that out. I'll try and remember and post a link through our Twitter whenever it happens. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you next turn.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
We miss you, Joey.
No, we don't.
We miss you, Brandy.
Brandy?
I miss you, Brandy.
Oh, Randy. I was like, Brandy? Who the fuck's alcohol? So titles.
We got Bloated Sphere, which I kind of like. And his name was Warboner, which I'm a fan of. Wonder Woman, more factually accurate than Battlefield, which needs touching up, but we can work with that. Vodka Man, short, punchy. Sorty, which, now that it's said out loud, that's pretty good. And if you can figure out a way to make this punchier, why isn't Superman in the Justice League?
That is its own punch. That is gold. That is perfect. Maybe the context makes it gold. I don't know, but
is there a way to phrase it a little better? I mean, is the name of the movie called Justice League, or is it JLA, or?
I think it's just Justice League.
Okay, I need to move this keyboard because I just typed a search for Jurariku Juice. Justice League movie. It is straight up called Justice League.
Yeah.
But here's a fucking poster with Superman on it, man. This is totally made up because it's got Idris Elba as Green Lantern. So yeah, this thing's fucked. This is not it.
He's going to be in the movie, but you asking about him in the trailer, it's still funny.
It is pretty perfect.
Like you just came home and asked mommy where drunk daddy went to, and if he's coming back. But
is Daddy done buying cigarettes yet?
If you want to go with one of the other titles, we can.
Okay, we'll do this one. We'll do this one, but I reserve the right to tweak it a little. when I put it up.
Okay, as long as it's the same question.
Yep.
We're cool.
Okay.
So,
We got it.
Okay, cool. Then thanks for everyone for joining us on the live stream. We stream every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. So come and hang out. And
Love seeing you in chat. Oh, and tell a friend.